So there's no silly questions.
There's no silly question. The only silly question is the question that's not asked.
Oh, I love that. That is the best. I have to write that one down. That is really true. All right, so I'm going to ask you my silly questions. You already answered the first one. It's true that I thought it was true that Macs don't get viruses, but apparently they get colds every so often. 3 quick key shortcuts. Like my life changed when I found out, this is so silly, like Apple Plus. I walk around the world like thinking I can make it bigger, going looking for the Apple Plus sign to make the world bigger. But if there were, what are your 3 favorite Apple shortcuts?
The favorite one under operating system OS 10 is Command Tab. And what happens is if I have more than one application open, which I usually do, I have my web browser open, my email program, and a Word document or Excel. With 4 programs, if I hold the Command key down and hit the tab, it will let me switch to the next application. If I hold the Command key down and just hit tab, I can literally bounce through from Mail, Safari, Word, Excel, or I can move my mouse to it because the icon will appear. And so that's how I bounce around between multiple applications without having to quit one, reopen.
Command tab.
Command tab.
Then what else? That's number 1. 2.
Command H is hiding a window. And so if I have Word open and I wanted to quickly see the next application or window I might have open, whether it's my browser on it, if I hit Command H while I'm in Word, it just hides it. It puts it down on the dock, and then
because I always have to go to, I always just go
close the window.
That's right. I mean, I kind of figured out that you can, if you make them a little smaller, you can click on the other side, but Command H does that for you.
It will just hide it directly, and then you can continue on with using the browser.
Then how do you bring it back?
I always bring it back by going Command Tab.
Oh yeah, that's what the Command Tab is. Right. Okay,
and it brings it back, and the window pops back
up. All right, and then what's the 3rd?
It's something called Spaces, and it's a feature that's normally turned off by default on OS 10.
Okay.
And if you go to your system preferences, you'll see something that's called Expose and Spaces. And if you click on that tab, go to Spaces, turn it on. It's always off. But if you turn that off, and then by me hitting the default key is F8 on it. So if I hit F8 on my keyboard, it brings up 4 separate windows. And it's like having 4 different desktops.
Right.
And so I can put my email on one window,
right.
my browser on another, my Word and my Excel, or any other application.
And you have them all open at the same time.
Right, by hitting F8, and I just move my mouse over and I can switch to any one of those windows. That's my favorite. I'm a power user, so I like them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I just found out about Apple Z too.
Apple Z.
Apple Z is if you lose, sometimes, I don't know, sometimes like it'll highlight something and you lose it. It's instead of going to undo, Apple Z.
Oh yeah, well that's the undo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It just makes everything magically reappear. To me, everything is just absolutely magical.